My ex-wife used to tell me that my communication was atrocious. And my current girlfriend? Well, she's still with me. Luckily, when it comes to blueprint communication, it's a little bit easier to understand. So in today's video, we are going to explore the 4 different ways that you can directly communicate with blueprints. If you don't know who I am, my name's Taken Grace. I make Unreal Engine tutorials and videos just like this one. So if you guys want to become a better game dev together and join the community here, so hit like and subscribe, and otherwise, welcome back. Let's get into the video here. Alright, so we're going to be working on our first person template here, and you'll notice that there's some ladders in the background here. That's from a previous video where we worked in the construction script and procedurally generated those ladders, so I can change the height of them as high as I want, and vice versa. So if you guys want to learn how to do that, there's a card available at the top corner there. You can watch that after this video. So in this video, we are going to obviously focus on those blueprint communication things. The first one is literally called direct blueprint communication. So we're gonna put a light up here and then have a switch kind of thing over here that we can step on to turn the light on and off. And we'll start with that. It's super nice and simple. So first we'll have to make the actual switch blueprint. So we're gonna go into our content drawer, right click, a new blueprint class type actor. Call it BP_switchy. All right, so we'll open that up, and we are gonna add a static mesh. We'll call it switch. We'll hit compile. First thing we'll need to make sure that the switch's collision is set to overlap all. Okay, and we're gonna hit compile, and now let's actually set that static mesh. I mean, it can be friggin' anything you want. Just type in some sort of cube. Sure, cube. And I think that's like a 2 by 2 meter cube or some random thing. So we're just gonna shrink that up. So let's make this like 0.5, but then on the Z we'll unlock this. On the Z we'll make it like 0.2. And we'll do a front perspective just to make sure that it's on the floor. We'll do in the floor, whatever. Okay, we'll compile. And now we need to add a variable. We'll call it light. And it will be of type point light. Point light. Object reference. Okay, we're gonna make sure that's instance editable so that we can add a light in the level and have it be referenced in this blueprint specifically. All right, we will go back to perspective there, but we're gonna go to the event graph, and we're going to delete event begin play and event tick. We're gonna be working out of event actor begin overlap. And the first thing we need to do is we need to grab our point light, and we need to check if it's valid, because since this is a public variable, there's a chance that we won't have anything actually plugged into this. So we need to confirm that there is data in this variable before we continue forward, and we will avoid that access none error that you get when there's no data in your variables. All right, next we need to drag out a light, and I learned this the other day from somebody in the comments, so thanks if you guys have tips and tricks for me in the comments. Greatly appreciated. I'm still learning Unreal Engine just like everybody. It's a never-ending learning experience. But anyways, you hit period, and that is how you add a reroute node. Can you drag out and hit period? No, you can't. Okay, so it's just in the this little thing here. But anyways, we are going to get a toggle visibility node, and it's going to be the point light component that we're looking for. Okay, so this will toggle the visibility of our light, whether that's visible or not. Back to the other one. All right, that is actually it for now. So we're gonna hit compile. I wonder if we need to do a box. Let's just add a box here. So we'll do a box collision, and we will go to the viewport just so we can see what it looks like. And we'll just move that up there. And I don't think we need to do anything else. Overlap all dynamic. The only thing we do need to do is we need to go to our event graph and delete the event actor begin overlap, and we need to right click our box, go add event on component begin overlap. And we'll see if that works. We are going to go into our level here. Let's drag our switch into our level. And why don't we add a material to that so it doesn't look like Garbo? Oh, I gotta hit general. Oh, I gotta actually select the switch. There we go. Elements. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we got some good stuff here, and I can't see half of it because I have my camera blocking it. So, chrome ball, clear coat. Let's do clear coat. Yeah, buddy. Look at that hidden switch. Anyways, okay, let's make our light now. So we are going to go into this bit here where it says quickly add to the project, and we're going to add a light and a point light. Okay, there's our point light. We will put it just above the door here and just there we go. All right, and then all the settings are obviously over here. We're going to make the intensity 2 CD, whatever that means. I mean, yeah, I literally can't think about what CD would actually mean, but I'm assuming it's some sort of lumens. Oh, no, you can change. Oh, candelas. Whoa! If I just read stuff. It's like how many candles bright it is, or like, what is that? I don't know. Anyways. Anyways, we want to make the attenuation radius down to about 100. And let's change the color to red. Anyways, we are going to now make sure the visibility for this guy is set to unchecked so that it's not... I don't know what I did on visibility. Oh, the ramp. I swear I clicked this. But anyways, we're going to uncheck that, make it not visible so that it's turned off by default. All right, so now that we've turned that off, we need to actually reference these two blueprints, the entire point of this video. So we will click on the switch, and we're going to get rid of that. And you will notice that if we click on, is it just the self, default, something like that? There we go. On the default root of the switch, you'll see that we have a light variable, which is the public one we made. You can either click on the eyedrop tool and select this point light, or you can just use the drop down menu because we only have literally one in the entire level. So we're going to reference that one now, and now we're going to hit play. We're going to test it out. Look at that. We turned on a light, and it was awesome. So we're toggling our light visibility. All right, so that's the first way to communicate with blueprints. Perfect. So yeah, this is a really clean, easy, simple way to just communicate directly with blueprints in the level without creating a bunch of references to everything and using public variables. But be careful. We don't want to accidentally or even purposefully connect a bunch of things into one switch. So like we don't want to have a switch for like 50 lights or whatever. There's a different way I'd kind of go about that. Because now you have all 50 lights as a dependency for this switch, and that's not good. But we will learn about that better way in this video in the last example, so make sure you're watching until the end. But first, let's learn another way to communicate with stuff in our levels with our level blueprint. So our level blueprint is located just up here between the sequencer and the add new things to scene. It's right here. Open level blueprint. So remember that the level blueprint is not scalable and it only represents the level that you're in currently. So by using blueprint classes like this switch here, you're adding reusability and just kind of ease of use, because now you can place as many as you want in the level basically. But the level blueprint is great for stuff like triggering events like opening doors after certain criteria is met. Foreshadowing for later. But for this next example, we're going to use the level blueprint to turn on multiple lights with just one switch. All right, so we're going to delete our switch for now. We don't need it for this particular example, but we should add something else into the level that will trigger our thing. So let's just do a box collision. Trigger box, here we go. Box collision, and then we'll just put a little, stand-in thing here. Basics. Oh, sorry. Shapes. Cube. Boom. Okay, so just a representation of our boxes. Our box won't be visible in the game, obviously. So when we step on the switch, we want to turn on all 4 lights. So we will just make these 4 lights. So I'm going to hold Alt and drag. I'm just going to drag this one over. Then I'm going to select both of them and then Alt drag and then put them down there. Okay. And then, I mean, you can be creative and make all these different colors for whatever reason. Oh, hey, it like shows you that, reflects that in the light bulb. That's super cute. And green. All right, so those are going to be our 4 lights. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on our trigger box here. There we go, finally. Go into our level blueprint, and then now we're going to right click and go on event. Here we go. So it says add event for trigger box, add event on actor begin overlap. Okay. And so after that, we're going to go back into our level, and we can use the outliner just to make it easier. We'll click on one just to find them here. Oh, so annoying. Collapse all. All these block ones are so super annoying. Anyways, point light 1 through 4, and then we're going to go with those selected. We're going to go back into our level blueprint, right click. What is happening? Why aren't you right clicking? There we go. Create references to 4 selected actors. So there's all of our point lights. Okay. We're going to make an array. And if arrays are something that is completely foreign to you or you're confused about them, I did make a video about arrays, just kind of going over the super basic nodes and kind of how arrays work and how indexes work and all that kind of stuff, because I was confused AF when I first started making Unreal stuff here. So anyways, we're going to make an array, and we'll add some pins, and we will plug in the other 3 lights here. From there, we're going to get a for each loop. And so from array element, we're going to drag out of there, and we're going to get a is valid. Once again, just pretty much same thing as the last one we did. We just want to make sure that there is actual like lights associated with these. And then after that, we're going to drag out of array element again, and we're going to toggle visibility point light component. See how it works here. We're going to hit compile. We're going to go play, and we're going to whack on this guy, and we're going to turn on every lights. Oh, that looks super nice. Maybe it's just the gamer in me. It's like, ooh, RGB, ooh. But anyways, yeah, that looks really nice, and it's working just fine. And that is the second way to communicate between blueprints in our level blueprint. Okay, next up is casting. Now, there's like 1,000 videos on YouTube for casting, so I'll just kind of keep it basic. So what casting is it's checking to see if the object that you've plugged in is a specific class or not. And if it is, it's going to return a reference to it, and you'll be able to access that particular object's variables. Casting is a very useful way for you to double check if it is the actual actor that you want overlapping with a specific thing like this sphere. So like, for example, if we only want our player to overlap it, because, I mean, honestly, I think if, where's the gun here? Will this work? Yeah, so literally anything else overlaps with this, and it's going to trigger it. So if we want to make sure, like, if it's only our player that we want to interact, casting is one option that you can use to check that, and then it will turn a reference to our player's variables as well. But the same thing applies as with direct blueprint communications. You don't want to have casts all over your game, basically talking to everything in the game, because that is very bad. Because now everything in the game has to load before basically your player or whatever has to load. It creates a dependency chain is what it's called. So, but the one thing about casting is if you do destroy the object, actually this goes with direct communication as well, but if you destroy the object in the game, then it breaks and severs any of those dependencies. So that's nice to keep in mind there. So to illustrate this point, we're gonna create a small collectible coin. We won't do any of the collectible fundamentals or anything like that. It'll just be for the example of how casting works. So we're gonna right click, create a new blueprint class type actor, and we'll just call it coin. We'll open that guy up, and we will add a static mesh, and we'll call it coin. And over here on static mesh, I think there's like a question mark. I'm sure if I scroll down, I'll see it. There it is. There it is. What's it called? Editor help. So we'll make that the collectible coin or whatever. Okay. We will hit compile. We will make sure the coin is overlapping all, just so we can overlap with it. Okay. And now in the event graph, we will get rid of the event on begin play and event begin tick. We're going to work on event begin overlap once again. So this other actor, this is where this will give the data on which actor has overlapped with this particular blueprint. So in this case, we want to check if this other actor is our player. So we're going to cast to BP player. First person character or third person or whatever your character is. So how you would do it in other blueprints is you would, out of here, you'd get player character, and that will get the player character that is in your game mode, so your default player character. But in this instance, we want to make sure that we are checking whatever actor overlapped with this blueprint is our first person character. If it's not, it's just good to always add like a little debuggy thing, so we can add a print string, and we can just say like cast failed not player or something like that. So yeah, just a good way to keep track of stuff so that you know if your game does fail, like the exact reason why it failed. Okay, it's not the player, this cast failed or whatever. All right, so if we do overlap it, again, we don't have anything in this game to deal with collectible, so we'll just change the player's color. So we'll just drag out of here and we'll get our mesh, get mesh, that'll be our obviously our player arms, and then we're gonna set material. We're going to change material slot number 0, and material will be gold. Okay, and then we'll plug that in. So this will only run if this does find a does find that it is our player that we're overlapping with, and it's going to run this. If not, it's going to run this print string, and we got to change this mesh to first person mesh. So if you're curious, the reason that there's two meshes in the player character, so the character class automatically comes with a mesh, and you can't delete it. It's really annoying, actually. So if I go to delete, it's literally grayed out. So in pretty much all the tutorial, in all the templates you have that other than the third person, because they actually just use the mesh, this is still here, and it's just super annoying. So they had to add a separate mesh for the arms, and then we have to just deal with this character mesh. Obviously it's in C++, so anyways, we are going to just close our player character there. After we've set our material, we are going to destroy actor. So now that will sever this dependency that we just created. It's just checking literally for a moment. And the reason that this way is good to do it is because it doesn't actually cast and make a dependency on our player unless it is our player that's overlapping with it. It would be different if we on event begin play made a reference to our player, because now we've created the dependency between every coin in the level and our player, right? So that's not the way you want to go about it. Okay, we will test that out. We'll hit compile, and we will drop our coin in our level. Boo! And we will walk over there, and nothing happened. Is that because we didn't put any collision on, or what is the case here? Do we have to add a box? So why don't we add a trigger box or instead of this? I have zero success with that most of the time, to be honest. So I'll just use trigger boxes. So we will use a sphere collision, and we will add event on begin overlap here, and it'll be same thing, just plugging in our other actor to the cast. Alright, and then I just want to make sure that the sphere has overlap all on, which it does, and we're gonna go and test this out now. Okay, we'll overlap. There. Okay, that worked, and then we'll pick up our gun to see our hands, and our hands are gold. I mean, you can also hit F8 and check. There's our gold hands, so that did work, and our coin is gone, meaning that it got picked up and was successfully destroyed. So yeah, that's casting, and that's the third way. And the fourth way we want to actually communicate with blueprints is through event dispatchers, and they're way more cooler than the other three here that I've showed you. So an event dispatcher basically will send out a message, and anybody who's listening for that message will do events based on whatever we have scripted for that particular blueprint. And so what we're going to do in this level, we can delete our coin, and we can delete our trigger box and all that stuff. It's reference to the level blueprint. Yeah, I don't care. We are going to be using our level blueprint, I believe, in this example here. So we'll just get rid of all that. But anyways, so what we're going to do is we are going to add 4 switches and a door, and we're going to have all 4 switches need to be on, or all 4 lights, pardon me, need to be on. And then if they are, then the door will open. So basically you can use event dispatchers in this fashion to trigger certain events once certain criteria are made. So I think to start off here, I'm just going to close the level blueprint on the other screen here. Okay, so the first one we'll do is we'll go into our switch that we made already. Okay, and at the bottom here, we'll see event dispatchers. We're going to add one. We're going to add switch activated. Okay, and after this, we are going to drag out our event dispatcher, and we are going to call it. So now it's going to send a message out to anybody who cares or is listening for this event that we've activated the switch. Now do stuff. And I kind of want to do something actually kind of cool. So let's actually get our light, and let's set color. Is that what it is? Set light color. And we're going to set it to be green. Okay. We'll hit compile. We will close this. And just for funsies, let's just make all of these red. There, all red lights. And then we're going to hit save. And then we're going to make our door blueprint now. So we're going to open our content drawer once again. We're going to make a new blueprint class. Type actor. Call it BP door. We'll open up door. We're going to add 2 static meshes. So this will be the frame. And then we'll control D that, and we'll do the door, and we'll make the door a child of the frame. Okay, and let's go over here. So in our starter pack, there's literally a door frame. So if you type frame, door frame, there it is. Okay. And then for door, and same thing in our starter pack, there is a door blueprint. And if you guys haven't done this already, just click this little folder here to open up the door, and then we're going to open up the static mesh. I think I've done it already, but we'll see. But anyways, go show and go simple collision. If you do not have this green box, that means there's no collision on your door, and you can literally just walk through it like a complete cheater. So just go up to collision and add a box simplified collision, and that should add this green box here. And you honestly don't even have to do any editing of the box or anything. It's just fine as it is default here. So, and then we'll hit save and get out of that. Okay, we'll just line our door up here. We can go front view just if we want to, you know, be a perfectionist like, I'm sure most of you are. All of us animators / game developers. All right, so that is our door. Let's hit compile, and now we just need to script the actual the door opening portion of this. Okay. So before we do that, we're going to add a variable of a switches to open. We will make this public so that if we put 8 doors in our world, then we can tell it how many switches open each door or something like that. So anyways, we'll make that an integer. We'll hit compile just to, we can leave that blank because we're going to set it once we put it in the world. We need to add another event dispatcher to this, and we'll call it switch pressed, we'll call it. Okay. In our event graph, off the event begin play, we are going to drag this out, and we are going to assign. So binding is and assigning are almost the same, but assigning will create this custom event with the bind, so you don't have to, that just basically skips a step, and we'll just say switch pressed event. Actually sounds great. Okay, so on event begin play, we're assigning this event, so anytime that we hear this or call this particular event elsewhere in the engine, then it's going to run this event. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to drag out of switches to open. We want to get switches to open, and then we're going to minus, and that will decrease this integer by 1, and then set that as the new amount. Okay, that's the node you want to use. You don't want to use like a -1. I mean, you could use a -1, but I mean, why would you? This exists, and they have a plus, and I don't know if they have a divide or anything. I doubt it. No, they don't. times? No, just plus, and which is a minus, which is a macro, by the way, an engine macro. All right, so before we do this next one here, we're going to actually create our event that opens the door. So we're going to just create a custom event down here. Door open. Okay, so to open the door, we are going to grab our door, and we're going to set relative rotation. Okay, we'll plug that in, and we are going to drag out of here, and we're going to get an interp, rotate interp 2. Okay, basically it's a we want to change a value over time, so the current will be the current value, and then the target will be the actual target value. We're just going to make 100 on the Z, because if you go to viewport and we actually rotate this, like if you rotate this 90 degrees like everybody will probably do, it's going to be like super, like, I don't know, flat. I do 100 just because it looks like more natural. It's a bit more like open and all that kind of stuff. You know what? Let's maybe do -100. That looks a bit better. So anyways, we'll zero this out and go back into our event graph and make this -100. Okay. All right. So the delta time, we're going to get world seconds, and a little hard to explain maybe for me, but like basically what delta seconds is doing is it's going to make sure that this object is going to move from point A to point B in the same amount of time on every machine. So it kind of skips over for FPS and time dilation. So like, for example, if you have a machine that's running at 30 frames per second, another machine that's running at 120 frames per second, you'd think that they'd have a bit more of an advantage at this point, or it would run this way faster, but with the delta seconds, it actually makes it the same amount of time for both machines. I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to explain that way better than I did, or they're going to just tell me that I'm flat out wrong, which is fine, because then we'll both learn something at this point. So, anyways, the interrupt speed is going to be how long we want this to take to go from current to target. We're going to do 1.5. All right, now that we've created our door opening event, we will want to check every time that this event is called if our switches to open is equal to 0. And if it is, that means we're going to open our door. So we'll call this door open. And if it's false, nothing's going to happen. Okay, we'll hit compile. That should be our door. But let's add a print string here as well on false. Print string. Oh, we can't print string. Print string. There we go. And then I think you got to drag this in. Yeah, then it's going to convert it into a little converter node there. Okay, we'll compile. All right, so we'll make sure that we hit compile, and we'll go into our world, and we're going to place our door, which is in our blueprints, or our first person. There it is. Door. Which way does it open now? Which way did it open? Viewport. So the handle's on the right side. Okay. So it is the other way. This way. Boom. Okay, there's our door. Yeah, and if you can add this, obviously, if you haven't already. Add this guy in here. But, yeah, we'll just make sure that this door is not stupid looking. Well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty stupid looking. There's a big-ass gap in here. You're fired, contractor. Can't even install a goddamn door. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's add the switches in now. So we'll right-click or control space to open our content drawer, and then we will place 1 and 2 and 3. And, you know, we can make it hard and do add a 4 up here, so we have to actually do some, you know, movement. All right, so let's select this, and now we can select our point light. So we'll do point light 2, point light 3, point light 4, and point light, what the hell, point light 5. There, so they're all different lights now. And now we need to actually call the event for the door. So what we can do is we will select all 4 of these switches. And in our level blueprint, we'll right click and we will call function or event. Is it event switch activated? Yeah, add switch activated. That'll add all 4 of them. And then we'll just basically do the same thing. So we're going to, no, sorry, we need to actually select it. My apologies. Boom, selected. Add a reference to door. And then from there, we're going to call switched pressed event. So we're going to just drag this into here. There we go. And what actually I think we should do too in our switch is we should do once. So after is valid, we're going to do once, just so we only do this once, and then it the switch is deactivated. Okay, so we'll hit compile, and let's test it all out. We're gonna hit play, and oh yeah, right, I forgot to change all of these to visible because we're gonna start them off as red. So we'll just do that here. There it is, visible. Boom. All right, so let's hit play. We'll do 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then we'll go up to the top here because it's a game and it's fun. And there's 4, and our door did not open. What happened? Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's literally because we didn't set the amount for our door. That's so silly. Just because it started at 0, so when we stepped on a switch, it went to -1, and of course it doesn't equal 0. Anyways, let's select switches to open 4. That's what we want. Now we'll test it out. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Ah, god damn. Oh, what? Oh, okay, yeah. God damn it. Didn't make it. Didn't make it. There we go. And does our door open? Our door does not open. Why? Okay, and then we'll do this, and I just want to see if this even fires. Like, what happened here? So it does work. Did I put in the wrong information here? Let's just set world just to see if it works. And see if it's the wrong node here. Yes, it was the wrong node, but it's not, So yeah, set world work to not set rotation, which is odd. But hey, whatever. Whatever, I guess. We'll just test it one more time. There, it does open. And it does it at 90, which is not even what I set it as. Super strange, everybody. Super strange. So, like, what if I do, like, 180 here? Like, does that make a difference? Nope, still opens it at 90. That makes no sense, bros. That makes no sense, bros. How about instead of that, like, I don't know, that makes no sense to me, bros. That should be working here. So let's just delete this. Let's keep world delta seconds. Let's... Alright. No more dumb things, please. No more dumb things. There, okay, the door opened. It didn't smooth. Wait, okay, the door literally vanished. Where's the door? Where's the door? Alright, so screw roll transform, set world rotation. And we'll just break this, plug this into the Z. Alright, if this don't work, I don't know. I'm quitting. Okay, well, it works. But it just doesn't follow the actual parameters that I'm putting in. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. How is it setting the rotation as 90 when it's definitely not 90? And then even when I set it to, like, I don't know, 270. It still opens it for 90. That doesn't make sense, bros. If you guys know what the answer to that is, let me know in the comments below. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But anyways, long story short, our event dispatcher works, which was the point of the video. So, okay, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and 4, and the door opens. There we go. So, that was the point of the video. Was this to show you what event dispatchers do. So, that's the kind of stuff that you can put in your level. So now you can make a nice little puzzle kind of thing if you wanted with event dispatchers and use your level blueprint to kind of communicate between the two of them and open your door when you're ready. Or you can do it with enemies as well. Like if there's 5, 6, 7 enemies and you need to kill all the enemies. Basically the exact same principle as that, is every time the enemy dies, they can call the event that they died, so the door will be like, hey, cool, there's one less enemy to worry about. But anyways, alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but there's actually a 5th super secret way for communicating between blueprints. And it's not so super secret, I guess, but blueprint interfaces. So I did make a video about that, so if you guys want to check that out, it's going to be right there, and I'll see you guys over there.